climber. And hi, Carl. How are you?
Hey, how are you, Patrick? It's nice
Yes,
to meet
I'm.
you.
Yes, nice to meet you, and it's an honor to have you in our show. It's a pleasure from my side, and I hope we are going to blow our minds hearing your story tonight.
Thank you, thank you. It's a huge honor. We are on the other side of the world,
Yes,
but this is what internet makes it happen. That we can chat each other as we would be sitting on the same table.
yes, exactly. Hopefully, thanks to Instagram for connecting me to you. And to introduce Karl Egloff on the show, he's a mountain guide. He's a what not actually. We can just keep talking about him for hours together. To introduce Karl Egloff on the show, he's a trail runner, mountain biker, mountain guide, and adventure racer. He's the world's most reputed and respected mountaineer and mountain guide and extreme adventure sport athlete in Ecuador, and he also holds the world's record in speed climbing world record in many mountains such as Aconcagua, Elborez, Kilimanjaro, Cotopaxi, and lots more. And you can just talk about his achievements for an hour, I would say. So let's quickly jump onto the show. And thanks a lot for joining our show, Karl Egloff. So it's an honor for us.
Thanks so much for your kind words and for the introduction. It's a huge honor, and just jump on the questions. I'm really
Yes.
happy to answer them all, and all the people following us, please do not hesitate to ask us whatever they want to know. And even if you are on the other side of the world, we all human beings think the same, so please do not hesitate to ask.
Yes, so happy for it. Any questions, do post it out here. You will get it answered, and you are going to get answered by one of the world's best, I would say. Yes, let's go into the questions right now, Carl. So how it all started of becoming
Well,
an adventure sport athlete?
yes, I have a funny story. I grew up here in Ecuador. I was born here in Quito.
Okay,
Uh, Quito is very high. Quito is at 2,800 meters, and I was born in Quito. I have a Swiss father and an Ecuadorian mother.
okay,
We grew up. We are three children. We grew up all a little bit related to the mountain because my father, he was a mountain guide, and he took us very early age to the mountains, and I
okay.
really loved it. Every weekend coming was for me the best. I knew I can jump on his car, and I don't know where we're going, but it's gonna be fun. And I grew up that way. Actually, I don't even remember. People ask me, when was the first time you went to the mountain? I don't remember. I have pictures on his back when I was 2 or 3 years old,
Oh my
and
God.
we went up to the refuge. And sometimes it's very funny. Sometimes he was climbing professionally with the clients, and he just left me behind on the refuge, and he said, like, I'm coming probably in 6 hours, 8 hours, just stay here, don't go anywhere. And I grew up sometimes spending days on the refuge. And of course, I was growing up, and I had much more energy when I was growing up, so sometimes I was following him. And I had this connection to the mountain in very early age. And
Okay.
so even if when I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, I started to join him on his trekkings and on his hikings. And I started with 15 to climb the glaciers here in Ecuador. He was very conservative in the way that he don't wanted me to introduce me to the glaciers too early, because
Okay.
you are still growing up. And since I turned 15, I started to climb 6,000ers. And since then, I started to guide. And my father always said to me, the mountain is our job. We have to do it very safe, and of course, taking care of our clients. And since I was 15, I started to guide. And
Oh my God. And I wanted to put forward one thing here. At the age of
of course,
15, he did 215 expeditions above 6,000ers. Am I right?
yes,
Yes.
that's true. And
Yeah. So
on the beginning, we were going together to the mountains. And later on, I was becoming faster and faster, and my father said that I cannot follow you. It's better if you go by yourself with your clients, and I will do my thing. And this is how all started. This is actually the first chapter. Of course, in between of my teenager and right now, a lot of things happened. I lost my mother. I had to move to Switzerland for studies. I joined the army in Switzerland.
Okay.
I studied administration. But during all these years, something that I never left behind was the mountain. I always came back to Ecuador to guide. Even working hard in Switzerland to survive, I always came back here to help my father out on the season. So for me, the mountain was always a little bit of fun and also
Okay.
my profession.
Okay. So you spoke about you doing administrative course in Switzerland. Can you just elaborate what phase was that, and like when did you choose to do mountaineering as a profession?
When I turned 15 and I joined my father for the first time to a big mountain, my father said to me, "Karl, you should take over. You should lead my clients." And I said to myself, I really would like to have an agency, like an agency, so I can choose when to go, how to go, and also I want to become an international mountain guide. On those days, of course, when my father was a guide, there were no big certifications, no lessons, nothing. There,
Okay.
like with
Yes.
other times as today. And today, I started my profession as a mountain guide, and I did all the international lessons. I'm still on it to get my international certification, but I'm always working with my own company here in Ecuador. And
Yes.
the good thing about it is also that I'm not just working here, I'm working worldwide. Take my people to the seven summits, to Himalayas, and this is what is beautiful, because mountains you have everywhere.
Yeah, and when we get an opportunity to explore all around the world as well, and when Carl was explaining about his the agency, it's called the Cumbre Tours. So yes, so he is the one who runs it, and anybody who wish to climb any mountains and in Ecuador or all around the world, you can just ping their agency company on Instagram
Thank
or
you.
anywhere, and for sure you would be got with the world's best service, I would say. Yes,
Thank you.
please. Yes. So to talk about these licensing and stuff with regards to mountain guide, what we just spoke. So how much should one invest to become a mountain guide? For example, UAFI. There are a few other certifications in mountain guides, right? So how
Yeah,
much does it involve?
that's true. That's true. Of course, it's. I always talk about where you are doing this certification. In South America, you have other prices than in Europe, and
Okay.
something that you have to consider to become a mountain guide is, first of all, to have experience before doing all these courses, because they are tough. They are definitely not easy. And here in South America, we got French, German, and Swiss instructors. So the level of the certification is 1-to-1 to Europe, and
Okay.
this makes it hard, of course, but it makes it also fun, because on the same time I can ask for a job in Himalayas or in Europe, and they know that my certification is exactly the same as theirs. How much you have to invest? I would think, if you do it really straight on and do not lose time, it takes you around 5 years to do it, and
Okay.
around $20,000, something like that, is something that you have to invest as a
Okay.
mountain guide. Of course, if as I said, if you do it everything straight, because there are a lot of people doing some years off, and then again, and then start over, and so on. So if you are really focusing on doing it, it takes you around 5 years.
5 years, superb. Yes, I guess you have given an idea of what it is to be a mountain guide and what is involved. Hopefully, our audience are aware of it right now. So, what do you think are the struggles, like leaving mountain guide apart, and what, in generally speaking, with regards to adventure sports, what is the struggle that is involved within the sport?
Well, definitely right now, as where we are living right now with the situation of COVID, you are very vulnerable. It's like the national parks are closed and mountaineering is closed, and tourism is always a very sensible thing
Yes.
on life, because people, the first thing, they don't want to travel if you are not safe enough in another place. So this is something that it's part of our jobs. For example, 4 years ago, our most important volcano in Ecuador exploded. Cotopaxi exploded. So Cotopaxi was almost 3 years closed, and the tourism decreased like 95%, because nobody wanted to climb mountains in Ecuador. So this is something, this is a very important message. This is why we are here improving to have an international certification, because if you are limited to work just where you are living or around, it can be very sensible, because it's not always just because of one mountain. It can be like something political or
Yes.
some other issues, and this is the bad thing. Another bad thing can be also problems in the mountains, of course, too much snow, or too dry, or no water, or and many other things. So I think a good message to the people who would like to become a mountain guide is always do something with your education. And it means if you are going for a mountain guide course and you want to really focus on guiding, do something else too. Do something else
Okay.
too. You cannot just focus on guiding. You never know what can happen. And also you are becoming old. And as soon as you are getting old, probably you will not have the energy to just plan expeditions when you are 60 or 70. So on the end, if you are doing something else, makes you always very happy to a little bit switch from one job to the other. This is what I have done. I have my agency, and I have the guiding. So, and also of course the sport, but the sport is something professional that holds for 10 years at least. But then
Yes.
I can always switch. Like, I'm a little bit tired, I want to work in the office, I want to promote the tours, and right now I'm a little bit sick of office, I'm a little bit sick of computers, I want to go to the mountains. And this is something that I try to teach the new generations, that do 2 or 3 things on the same time, and makes you much more a free man.
Yes, exactly. Beautiful advice, Carl. I think we got to learn a lot from all these aspects what you spoke right now. Okay, let's just jump on to another session. It's called the photo session. So we share a couple of photos of yours, and I have kept it so secret at the moment. So once you see the photo, please do let us know what was happening there and how did you
Of
feel
course,
about the incident. Yes,
of course, please.
awesome. So let's start. The first photo is, I think you are the middle one who is starting off, right?
Yes, you can see it on my head.
Uh,
No, this was leading the peloton of
okay,
Elbrus.
1 second, Carl. So I guess you have closed the speaker with your hand or something.
Okay, perfectly. Right now it's
Yes,
better.
yes.
Okay. I'm leading a peloton of Elbrus Sky Race 2017, one of the
Okay,
most beautiful races I have had the opportunity to start. I did it 2 years in a row, and I won it 2 years in a row. But it's a beautiful experience to just go as fast as possible to Elbrus. And the Russians, they are crazy, but crazy in a good way. I had really a lot of fun there in Assau.
Asa. Okay, awesome. So that's the description of the picture, right?
Yes, it is. Actually,
Okay.
it's very funny, because the Russians, they run as if the race would be over in 10 meters. So they run like lions out of the cage, and it was really fun, because I turned around, and as you can see on the picture, I have
Yes.
like 400 people behind me chasing me. So it was really fun, and I would come back anytime to Russia. It's one of my plans next year to come back.
Awesome. So we are waiting for that as well. So what's this picture?
This one is actually as soon as I arrived to the finish line of Ursa Trail in Greece. This was
Okay.
actually just a few weeks after Elbrus. I was in Europe with my family, and I said, okay, it's time to travel together. And I got an invitation to race in beautiful Thessaloniki in Greece. And I
Okay.
won the race, and it was a beautiful 42K, and I have beautiful memories. And one of the most beautiful memories I have is that they said that they are bears out on the woods, and I said like, no way. And they said like, yes, if you
Okay.
are alone on the front of the race, take care of the bears. and I was always turning around, not anxious of my rivals. I was anxious of the bear. And I said, like, I hope I can arrive to the finish line soon.
Super, super. It's a very good moment, I would say. And also, you had, yeah, you won the gold, right?
Yes, I won the race, and it's also a race I would really recommend anyone because it's beautiful, and the food in Greece is like, oh, very good.
Awesome. Yes, that's good. We have a couple of questions also coming up. We will answer those as well in a quite a bit, guys. Please do post your questions. We'll get it answered for sure. Yes, what's the next picture?
The next picture is my second home, Aconcagua. Aconcagua is the highest summit in the world outside Himalayas. It's the highest mountain in South America. It's almost 7,000 meters high. I have been 11 times on the summit, and a lot of beautiful memories. I asked my wife to marry me up on that summit, and
Oh, yes, it's a very emotional moment and very personally
yes,
connected to Aconcagua, and you have been 11 times, and also there's a story behind it. You did it in a super fast ascent, and that's the world record, right? Can you just explain
yes.
about that as well?
I'm still holding the world speed record of Aconcagua, running from the road to the summit and back. It's 60K, and it's really a long approach to the base camp. And for me, Aconcagua is much more than a world record. For me, Aconcagua is, as I said, my second home. I go every year with expeditions. I'm the lead guide, and I'm going in February also with 2 or 3 expeditions there. And every time I'm there, I feel like here in Ecuador, running up the mountains, the air, the people, the atmosphere, and everything, and also the food. Just a very beautiful mountain to go once in your lifetime.
Yes, hopefully I also make it one day on top of Aconcagua, along with you, you guiding me maybe. Yes,
Please,
that would be a
anytime.
place. Yes, sure. I'll keep you posted on this, and I think this summit will tell a lot of stories when anybody says it from your perspective right now. You have asked your wife to marry on top of this, and 11 times been there. A lot of records been shared with the mountain. Yes. So the next picture.
Well, this is the other side of Karl Egloff. Actually, I'm a huge mountain bike fan. I'm still biking a lot. I used to bike almost 8 years professionally. I was representing the national team of Ecuador. I
Okay.
was traveling worldwide as a mountain biker. I took place in twice in a world championship for Ecuador. So mountain biking gave me a lot, especially what an athlete wants, which is travel, which
Okay.
is listen to your own national hymn and to represent your country good. And I still love it. I still have in my backyard my bike and try to spend time with the bike, also with my son. It's kind of my sport to do when I'm tired. When I'm tired
Okay.
of jogging, of doing trail running, you always need a second sport in your life. Some people used to swim, others climb. For me, the most important thing is to bike. For me, I feel free when
Okay.
I'm biking.
Okay, and if we see all these photo in your story, we could think of one thing at the moment right now. What it is like, you have been climbing mountains, and you have been sky running, trail running, and marathons, and also mountain biking. And with regards to all these, as well, how could you able to switch to all these different sports and experience them, and also lead a life through all these? Can you just put few words across these subjects?
Of course. An awesome question. Why? Because some people know me as a biker and don't know me as a mountain guide. Others know me
Okay.
from the records. But on the end, the most important thing as an athlete is enjoying what you do. And sometimes I always say to the new generations, just if you are doing something good, doing as good as possible is kind of my mentality. If you are
Okay.
biking, try to do it as good as possible. Then biking, one day I just opened my eyes, I looked to the mirror, and I said to myself, I'm almost 31 years old. I'm racing every weekend, and I don't have sponsors. I don't have money. I don't have anything. I cannot even date my wife because I don't have nothing to pay the restaurant. So I said to
Okay.
myself, it's time to be like to take a decision. Should I continue with a sport which does not bring me much financial help, or
Okay.
should I do something else? And exactly at this point, I decided to open my eyes and say, okay, I'm doing a sabbatical year, no racing, just to think all everything a little bit over, and
Okay.
then I actually wrote Switzerland if they could give me a job as a mountain guide, as I speak Swiss German since I was a kid, and they said
Okay.
yes, because of your language and your knowledge, you can join us to Kilimanjaro. And then exactly when I went to Kilimanjaro, they saw me running there, and they said like, you should go for the record. And
Okay.
it was just a huge coincidence that just because I went there and they saw me running, and they just offered me this opportunity. And then I said, okay, this is a huge opportunity. This is not just a record. This is Kilian Jornet's record. He's like
Yes.
a myth. He's a myth. He's like
Yes.
Lionel Messi. And on the end, I said to myself, I don't have nothing to lose. Why not? Let's try and give it as best as possible. And this is what I did. And on the end, I did it very good. And I opened my eyes there and I said, this is just the beginning. But the first thing that you have to do in life is sacrifice. And I said, I cannot bike and play soccer and do guiding and everything
Right.
on the same time to become the very good on something. So I started to leave the biking behind. And
Okay.
I'm still biking as a training. But the message that I wanted to do is all these sports that I did in my life helped me to improve me as an athlete today. Definitely, I know because of them, I know a lot of things like how to train and how much to train, where to train. And this is something that probably nobody teach me. I just learn it over with all the things that I have done.
Yes, lovely, lovely advice, and it's an eye opener for everybody who has been watching this. And after this live, whoever watched this, it's going to be a big eye opener. And also, you shared a lot of true stories of you. Thanks a lot, Carl, for being open and sharing all these with us. Yes, so the next picture is.
Thank you for the opportunity. No, this is one of my favorite mountains in Ecuador. This is Antisana. This is
Okay.
the one of the most tropical glaciers that we have in Ecuador. Just behind the mountain, you can see the rainforest, the
Yes.
really deep jungle, and on the other side, you can see the Andes, the dry Andes, and the highlands. And this is actually as I normally I'm wearing the clothes to guide here in Ecuador, and I guide. I still guide a lot between
Okay.
October and February. We have here in Ecuador 5 months of high season, and on those months I really focus on guiding, and this gives me also a certain good acclimatization for my projects, and I love
Okay.
it to be on the mountains out there with clients, and also to be part of their dreams. Because a lot of people ask me, why, Carl, haven't you stopped guiding and focus more time on your training? Because guiding makes you humble, makes you see through other eyes how they are suffering, how they are like conquering their own fears and everything. So guiding makes me a privileged man. Actually,
Okay.
I would never, I would definitely, I have been doing less, but I don't want to stop. Even in my best years as a speed climber, I really want to focus on guiding, especially on those months that we have a lot of work here in Ecuador.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, you must guide a lot and actually transfer your knowledge to the upcoming guys. I would say it would be an seriously a very good knowledge transfer thing if you do it by yourself. Yes. So the next picture.
Well, the next picture is probably one of the most beautiful moments in my life, especially talking about as an athlete. This picture was exactly the when I figure out that I broke the FKT of Denali. I'm standing on the very top of Alaska's highest mountain, uh, around below 28 degrees Celsius, but with my big smile on my face.
Yes.
I was really enjoying that moment. I was saying thank you, whoever is up there, and I had gorgeous weather. I had like amazing weather, And Denali is for me probably the most important, yeah, I would say mountain in my career, because the record to beat was made by skis, and I wanted to do it without it. And
Okay.
as soon as I proposed that, people looked at me and said, like, you're crazy. Yeah, that's absolutely impossible to beat someone on skis. So when I was up there and I was 2 hours and 5 minutes faster than the Kilian's record, this was like a release, as like a thank you to how I felt, how the mountain gave me these beautiful moments, and how the weather was, and nobody was up there. I was alone up there with my mate. So beautiful moments. Actually, this one I would consider are one of the 5 pictures most important in my life.
Yes, happy that I caught this picture right away. So yes, you spoke a very big thing right here, and you actually someone told you it's impossible to do, and you proved it is possible, and you hold the record right now. And Kilian Jornet, obviously, as you told, he's a Messi, like how football player see Messi, he's like that, and he's so big, and it's awesome to know all these stuff from you. Yes, so the next picture is Kilimanjaro.
Well, Kilimanjaro is where everything began.
Okay.
Kilimanjaro is when Karl stopped biking and focused on speed climbing. Kilimanjaro is where I saw an opportunity. So I have been there, I think, 11 times on the summit too. And
Okay.
something that I really love about Kilimanjaro is the mountain is very similar to our landscapes. When I'm jogging there, it's like I would be jogging in Ecuador. I will be like training in Ecuador. It's very
Okay.
similar, and the people, they are amazing. I would, something that I really love is to come back to Kilimanjaro and all those troubles that I did there. And the picture is exactly the moment when we figured out that I broke the ascent record of Kilimanjaro, and my very first world record. So of course the feelings are amazing.
Yes, yes, and also we in order to apart from these photos, we spoke about you breaking records. Actually, climbing these mountains is so hard. It is another story, and you do it with all these speed climbing. You're making breaking world records and all those. So I know you are a very good friend of Kilian Jornet. When he knew it, how did he feel about all these?
Well, I don't know what he felt, but what he told me is like he's a very humble man, and he's an extraordinary athlete. Actually, from the beginning, he showed me like this is something that you don't see in many other sports, because
Yes.
sometimes you see the rivalry, and the rivalry is not always like a good rivalry. And on speed climbing is you don't wish anyone something to go wrong, because you know that it's delicate, that something can happen, that it's an extreme sport. So after Aconcagua, I did Kilimanjaro, then I did Aconcagua, and then I met Kilian. We went together for a couple of days to train, to speed up to Mont Blanc together. And I actually had the opportunity to meet him as a human being, not as an athlete or like Messi on a newspaper. So it was really nice to see such a superb athlete, and to spend time with him. And still until today, where every time we have the chance to do something or talk or meet somewhere, we have a lot of respect, and I still have him as a huge idol. He's like still as the Lionel Messi of this sport, and not just of this sport. I'm talking about a legacy of trail running.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it was actually my personal question that I put forward. Yes, so your photo sessions is done, Carl. Wonderful session, and I guess we went on a roller coaster ride along with you. Okay, there's a couple of questions that we want to ask you as well right now. So basically, we could see a lot of adventures has happened in your life. So what adventure sports mean to you, and why do you do it?
Well, adventure sports for me means to be out there, to have fun. This is exactly what I'm right now trying to show my son.
Okay.
Not to compete, not to conquer summits, not to be like a better version as me, just to show him how beautiful and how privileged we are to be out there, to enjoy whatever it is, even watching a bird or just camping out there or walking or biking or whatever. Adventure sports is for me everything. Actually, during this COVID locked down at home, the only thing I think in my head is like, I need green, I need mountains, I need lakes, I need something. And this is where I see myself also when I'm becoming 60 or 70 one day, having a house in the nature out there where every time I open the window we can see out there. This is for me adventures. The sports, the elite, the breaking records, the all of that will be over one day. And it's not like as soon as it's over, all is over. No,
Okay.
another chapter starts. And this is what it makes it so. And this is something why I changed sports from one to the other, because all of them are related on the same, which is spending time out there.
Yes. Yes. Actually, we become a better human version of ourselves, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, I
Yes.
agree with you.
Yes, lovely. So that's the reason Carl does it, and hopefully he told it out loud round now. And okay, Carl, this question a lot of audience had, and they wanted me to ask you this. Have you had any near-death experiences in the mountains?
Yes, yes, actually,
Can you share one?
of course. Well, this is part of my jobs. I have had not myself, also people next to me have had accidents. I have been there taking even bodies out of the glaciers. I'm privileged. I'm still alive. But one of those, I guess, was last year in February 2019. I was climbing with my mate, Nicolas Miranda, the south face of Aconcagua, and we
Okay.
planned to do it very fast, very light, as no one before. And on the very last section, we got lost. And when we got lost, the night turned on, and it was really, really, really cold. It was 40 below. Below 40 Celsius, below 40 Celsius, it was really, really cold, and we started to have a lot of problems and struggling with the temperatures and everything. On the end, we were so tired that we looked to each other and we said like, what's next? Should we sleep here, or should we, what
Go
should we do?
down,
Should we
go
ask the
up.
rescue team? And on the end, Nicolas said to me like, no, no way, I cannot imagine myself to spend the night here on the wall, because we were really hanging on the wall. So I said,
Okay.
okay, let's focus on just one step, not more than one step, just one step. Okay, I'm gonna count till 5, and when I said 5, you have
One
to do
step.
the step, and I hold you.
Okay.
And then one step after the other, one step after the other, we made it up out to the other side of the wall. And I had like a frostbite of 3rd level on my feet, and I was struggling for many weeks with my feet, but I'm really happy, and that I did not lose anything. All my toes are still complete. And
Okay.
but it was a tough moment. It was the first time in my life that I heard my son talking to me, to say, "Daddy, you
Oh.
have to come back. Daddy, don't quit." And
Oh.
I was not struggling just by myself. My mate was completely on his limit too. So on the end, I said, I have to be stronger than him. I have to take him out here. This is not a competition. This is like, it's your best friend. You have to take
Yes.
him out right now. So this is probably one of the nicest, on today I can talk about nicest moments I have had with him. And since then, our friendship has grown a lot too.
Okay. Yes, obviously. You just we can't actually put that in words, and it also looks like a story which happened in Meru. Obviously, you would have known it when Conrad Anker and Jimmy Chin and another climber had the same experience. When you told this, that's what strike my mind right now. It's a very, very, very emotional moment as well. Your son is calling you down and want to be like near you and all this. Yes, this also happens in this sport, right? So that's how this sport actually works.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mountaineering is of course an extreme sport, and when we are talking about extreme, it means like you know your risks. But
Yes.
sometimes even if you are planning everything perfectly, you always can have surprises on the mountains, always. And this is why we never stop training. You always try to imagine what would happen, what could happen, and this is part of our daily life. And sometimes you are not lucky enough, like David Lama
Yeah.
or Willy
Julie
Steck
Steak.
or whoever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can have a bad day. This is part of our jobs, but we try to not risk too much. This is part of our jobs, but it's easy to say.
Yes, exactly. The life journey itself is extreme. I could relate it with you, as you just speak right now. The lifestyle is also extreme as you go to extreme altitudes. Okay, so few other questions to make it a light right now. uh, to talk about you achieving records and all those. Apart from this, there's a behind the scenes story that you do, right? So how do you train physically and also mentally to all these challenges that you take forward?
Well, I'm a performance athlete, so a lot of people believe that to be fast on the mountains, you have to be all the time on the mountains, and this is not truth. Actually, I
Okay.
figured out with many years on the mountains that it makes you very tired, that you are eating differently, you are burning so many calories that probably you will not never have a right performance when you are down on the valley. So I started to switch both, like do climbing and do a lot of expeditions, but also spent a lot of time in my season or in my year to
Okay.
improve being faster and faster and faster. And to become faster, there is a beautiful word called trail running, and you can be competing, enjoying spare time. So I started also to compete in a very high level, and this is something that opened my eyes to see how many amazing athletes they are out there. So fast athletes, people who are bringing this sports to another level. And this is actually my daily life. I normally train between 20 to 25 hours a week. Um I try to be 3-4 times a week, sleeping over 3,500 meters. I try to be climbing and climbing and climbing, but there are also certain weeks and months in the year that I'm training in sea level. Even if people are saying like he's crazy, but it on sea level is where you can increase your capacity, your lung capacity, much more than on altitude. Because on altitude, I'm used to the altitude. That doesn't
Okay.
make me immune. That doesn't make me like a superhero on a month and high altitude, because my body suffers too, and I'm not 20 anymore. I'm almost 40. So this something that I really enjoy in my sport is that nothing is written. It's not like Usain Bolt knows how to train to be the fastest 100-meter runner, because there are nothing to reinvent. On our sport,
Mm.
there are tons of things to reinvent. Every day I discover something new. For example, I discovered that 48 hours after training in altitude, you are on the very base of your energy, and you need a lot of recovery, you need more sleep, you have to cool down a little bit. And this is not written anywhere on books. This is something that I have been looking on these last years to perform better and better and better. This is something that I really wish one day to write books about, how to train in altitude and also how to become fast on altitude, because this is a myth.
Yes, yes, exactly. So one book that you would recommend for people to train, what that book would be?
Well, to train hard is something that people are splitting from one to the other. Is a lot of people are doing trail running and they want to
Okay.
just jump over the mountains and just be fast on the mountains, and there are two sports. And I always say you have to be a good on the mountains without running. That means you have to be good on any terrain,
Mm.
climbing, scrambling, ice climbing, whatever you're doing on mountains. You have to be safe what you're doing, and then you can become a faster athlete down the valley, increasing on distance, on capacity, on any kind of races, whatever you want to do. But they are two different things. So you cannot jump from one thing being good at one thing to just conquer Everest on
Mm.
your mind. There are a lot of steps to do. So this is why I'm not 20 anymore, because it has been a procedure to become a faster mountain runner on very high mountains, and this makes me very happy because I enjoyed every single step on it. And I think I'm the opposite of 99% of the athletes today, because the opposite is I come from the mountains. I'm much more the mountain guide who started to run instead of the
Okay.
runner who wanted to be fast on the mountains.
Mountain. Ah, yes, yes. Yours is the reverse thing that happened. And also, how do you train mentally, Khan?
Mentally, something that I do when I'm very tired, I try to train hard. Then this makes you struggle a lot mentally. Sometimes you cannot even walk the stairs without pain, and you say that today it's the day where I have to do interval training, and you said like, no way, please do not do that. And this is something I do a lot, like challenging myself. Also something that you cannot learn at home is what you are living on the mountains. So go to the mountains. So
Yes,
climb the mountains on bad weather. Come climb the mountains with freezing your entire body, having a bad night on altitude. Today you have a lot of machines, a lot of things that you can try
yes,
to like to train what it is to be out there. But you're never gonna have at home the feeling of what it really is to be out there if you have a bad weather, or if you get lost, or if you are hungry, or whatever. And this all these years that I have been climbing with clients, I think that helped me to love what I do first, and secondly to know what can happen on the mountains. That sometimes you are just a small ant on a huge mountain, and you have to turn around because things can get worse.
yes, exactly. And so many pictures that depict about humans as a tiny ant when compared to the mountains.
It
Yes,
is
and
absolutely.
exactly. So yes, we spoke about a couple of things right now. So let's move on to the next session. It's called the rapid fire round. I ask you a question and you got to answer it like within 5 seconds time in a single word. Okay? Can we
Okay,
do this?
perfectly.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. So what is your unforgettable trip?
My unforgettable trip would be New Zealand.
Okay. Super. So your inspiration?
My family.
One project that you wanted to do but you haven't still done it?
Everest. FKT.
Okay. Greatest fear?
Um, to not turn around.
Okay. Favorite movie star? Do you watch movies, Carl?
Yes, Mark Wahlberg.
Okay. Favorite sportsman?
Roger Federer.
Your favorite climbing partner?
Nicolás Miranda.
Your your favorite mountain in the whole world?
Amadablan.
Ahmedabad. Oh, that's nice to hear. Seriously, I didn't expect this answer from you. Okay, if not mountaineer or sky runner for example, anything trail runner of that sort, what would you have chosen?
Soccer.
Soccer. Okay. I'll give you one word right now, and you got to tell me what it means to you in a single line. You use a sentence to answer. Okay, life,
Uh, enjoy it. Completely enjoy it.
dreams.
To be with my family and enjoy life.
Okay, yes, you combine those two. Okay, family.
Family is what closes the circle. An athlete without a circle is not successful. I think for me, the family is the most important thing in my life.
Adventure.
Where our dreams are. Adventure is to know you better, to go out there, to have adventure. Your adventure can start outside your house,
Success.
where you work hard for it,
Failure.
uh, with yourself. What you can't achieve. Uh, Failure is part of the life. Definitely, it's where you learn the most.
Okay, death.
Part of the life too. Hope not
Yes.
too soon.
Yes, exactly. Super wonderful session. You are like really rapid. Like as
Thank you,
as you
Catholic.
are in the mountains, You are just like that in this rapid fire, very quick. I was actually struggling a bit. What to ask next? What to ask next? I was on that, but you are so chill and calm. Okay, yes, super, wonderful rapid fire, and I thoroughly loved it. And to ask our audience's question at the moment, we have few to ask. So, in order to a guy or a girl to pursue a career in adventure sports, what do you recommend and what paths to take? And right now, mountaineering is getting boomed everywhere. I would say people are finding themselves in mountains and they want to explore now. And travel has become a very big part of everybody's life right now. If somebody wants to be get into mountaineering or any other sport for that matter as a career, so how do you guide them right now?
Well, the advice that I give is to start one step after the other and don't jump the steps, because this is what today happens a lot in our society. That you are running 5K and you want to already run UTMB. You want to run 160K, and there are still a lot of distance in between. You have to train for it, and it's the same. If you are climbing small mountains, you are already planning to climb Everest. It's like you are missing some pieces
Yes,
to be like successful, and especially to not get injured, and especially most of all to do not have bad experience. So in the end, if you are doing a sport and you have a bad experience, you're gonna probably switch over and do something else. And mountaineering is a sport, I think it's the most important sport to become a humble man, because you cannot learn nowhere on the world you can learn more than on the mountains. On the end, you can come back home and the only thing you want is a hot shower, or
yes,
you know, like something to eat, or a wall without wind, or a roof without snow. And
yeah,
you become a much simpler human being. And this is something that other sports do not teach you. Other sports teach you to be competitive, to have the newest bike, to have all this amazing gear, and mountaineering is just, I want to go home. I just need a hug of my mother, and this is all I need.
yes,
So
yes,
I
exactly.
the advice that I give, like, leave no trace on the mountain. Be very humble. We are just a small ant on a huge mountain. So and do one step after the other, and follow guides. Go with guides to the mountain to have a much better experience. The guide is not there to bring you up to the summit. The guide is there to make with you a beautiful journey. To on the end of the day say like, it was amazing. Even we couldn't go out of the tents because it was snowing all day, but I really learned a lot with him, and I was feeling safe with him. And this is actually what it's all about guiding. It's like feeling safe what you're doing, and coming back, and the next mountain is already waiting for you.
Yes, lovely, lovely. With your all experience and whatever you have come across, you just put it across in a few sentences, I would say. That's the level of experience he had got, guys. And also from his these experiences and learnings through his life, he just spoke all these from his heart. Yes, so one of the main questions that comes usually to all extreme sport athletes is how to find a sponsor.
Well, this is not easy, I think, anywhere in the world. But the most important thing is, like, first to do something before looking for a sponsor. That
Okay.
means that if you are planning to do a project but you haven't done anything before, it's difficult for a sponsor to trust you, what you are doing, what you want to do. And sometimes a lot of athletes, they just are willing money but do not do anything in return. And I
Hmm.
have my own company too. So on the end, I think also on the other side is, if I'm giving money to an athlete, what I'm expecting from this athlete. On the end, sometimes you are an employee of a company because you are getting a
Hmm.
salary, and on the end, you are spending a lot of time. But of course, this is what you need to help to the company to improve. The people get to know what the brand, the logo type and everything. So what you
Yes.
have to do is to have a project, to have something in your mind, and to sell it good. You have to sell it. That means sometimes it's not easy, because selling something, it's probably the most difficult thing, to knock doors and ask for a sponsorship or even for some help. But this is how
Yes.
everything began. I started as an athlete when I was 18, 19, 20, and I became professional with 35. So until 35, I was investing money in my sport, and right now I'm getting all this money back. So on the end, this is where a lot of people have to open their eyes that it's not one day to the other. It takes time. It
Mm.
takes time, and of course, your achievements are just 50%. The other 50% is how you are as a human being, and how is your project, and how are you gonna help to improve the sponsor to
Mm.
why are they choosing you? This is the main question.
Yes, beautiful. So hope everybody is aware what exactly he told, and that's about sponsor. What you give in return, and also other aspect, and 50 percentage what you said is exactly what happens right now at this point of time. And whom do you want to thank for the journey that you had till date, Carl?
Well, I want to thank you for the opportunity,
Oh,
and I want to
Carl, it's I'm nothing actually in front of you. Maybe I'll go like this. It's
no,
an
I
honor
think
for me actually. I'm learning a
no,
lot out from you, and it's so humble that you came forward and accepted this offer. I'm actually grateful to you, and hopefully I will never ever forget this in my lifetime.
thank you so much. Beautiful, kind words. Thank you. Same to you. And I think the most important thing in my life is, and I always repeat it because there are the most important thing in my life. This is why I want to come back from any project. I want to be safe in any project. Is my family. On the end, my son sees all these pictures hanging around the house, and he's like, "Daddy is up there on Elbrus. Daddy is up there on there, and Daddy." And every time he asks the same questions, and I figure out that he's asking because he's proud on a one way. So for me, as an athlete, the most beautiful message that you can tell your family is that they are living with you your dreams. They are cheering
Mm.
you. They are part of them. And when one day everything is over with speeding up the mountains, the life continues the same way, just without a clock. And this is the beautiful thing about it.
Yes. So particularly, you want to thank anybody for the journey that you had till date?
My sponsors, definitely my sponsors, people who believe in me, and of course my fans who are always cheering me and writing me.
Yes, I am.
And
I am one of your fans. Please.
thank you so much. I'm really looking forward one day to visit you in a beautiful country. One of my top 5 lists in my life to visit one day.
Sure,
Uh,
sure. I'll make it. I'll for sure. If I get the honor of climbing alongside you, there's nothing more I can expect. But for sure, I'll make it happen. And I'm also working towards it. And yes, for sure, we will meet up in the. Yes, yes.
thank you,
Please go
definitely.
ahead.
Thank you. No, thank you for the opportunity to talk about who I want to thank, and of course my sponsors, my fans, and my family.
Family, awesome. Yes. So the next question is, what's your future project? We know you are on a project for seven summits and doing it in the fastest accent as possible, up and down. So apart from this, one road that you wanted to do in the future, and like in then that terms.
Well, you mentioned it. I want to complete the 7 summits, all of them in world speed record. I have 4 of them right now, and then there are many things I want to do. But one of those is to cross the Antarctic uh, as fast as possible, just going from one side to the other, and to be as a very short time there. Like people cross
Yes.
it very fast in 45 days, 60 days. So I just want to be fast there, and this is a project that I have been looking forward for many years. And why? Because normally climbers need a peak, the climbers need a summit, and I just do sports to know me better.
Okay.
And something that I love about running up the mountains is to look how fast you can be, and just try to be your best version. And I read many books about the Antarctic to be one of the most challenging projects in your life. That athletes really start to cry while they are walking because you don't see
Yes.
anything else than white, and you see all day for 24 hours you see white. So you ask yourself, what are you doing there? And I
Yes.
guess I will be a much better and humble man if I have this project behind me.
For sure, for sure. Please do let us know, and we will also be ready to support you and encourage you. We will be like posting pictures, and we will be
Thank
shouting
you.
out, Karl Egloff is going, yeah, one day summit. Obviously, we will get updates on your projects. Yes, we are waiting, and I'm keen waiting towards your Mount Vincent's project, I guess. Ah, I forgot the mountain. What's there in an Antarctic?
Yes,
That's
yes, the
right.
Vinson
Yes,
Massive. Yes, you're
Vincent.
right.
Yes, yes. I am waiting for that project when you go to the summit and do it as fast as you can. That's
I
the
hope
project I'm looking forward.
I hope I can travel soon there. It's a very expensive mountain, but I'm really planning to do it in the next 12
Yes.
months.
Okay, awesome. Yes, you were supposed to go this year, right? And because of COVID, you couldn't go.
Well, because of COVID and also because of money, I was everything was planned,
Okay,
but it's probably the most expensive seven summit. So I decided to move it for next year, and
okay,
it was a wise decision because otherwise I would be right now struggling a lot financially at home. So this is
okay,
something that my projects are always like planning what happens if I can't make it, and what happens if,
okay.
and this is the guiding side of my life.
Yes, yes. So the last question is, what do you tell to people who are chasing their own dreams?
To go for them. No dream is impossible. No, nothing is impossible. When if I would have asked myself when I was 15 that I will be right now talking about a speed record on all of the seven summits, I would have laughed. I would have said like, "Come on, like keep playing soccer at home." And today I'm here, and I just worked hard to be where I'm at right now. So everything is possible. You have just to train hard and to be realistic, to increase in all sides, not just the athlete side, also the human being side, and yeah, go out there and go for it. Definitely.
Yes, beautiful. And thanks a lot for coming forward and doing this show. It's an honor and privilege for me. I've been telling this for quite some time, but that's the truth, and that's how I feel inside myself. And you have been so humble throughout the show and in your life as well. So that's what you portrayed as well. So much kindness from both. That's one of the comments. You will quickly look into few questions that came up. One was, Carl, can you please tell us about your recent sponsorship with La Sportiva?
Yes, a dream came through. La Sportiva is a brand that I knew since I was a kid, and since January, I'm part of the pro team of La Sportiva, and right now I'm enjoying all this amazing gear that they have.
Yes, superb. So, Jamin, I hope he answered your question. So, any other question, guys? Zetop, Zetop, she has asked in a different language, if possible. Can you read it?
Yes, I can read it. I'm just well, people are sending me greetings from Argentina, from Spain,
Okay.
from Switzerland, from Ecuador. Well, thank you so much for all people who have been uh, hearing us, and I'm trying to look for other questions, but I don't find any. I think
Okay.
they are just greetings and
Okay.
saying thank you. Yeah.
Okay, one question is there. If possible, you can answer and we can wind up. One word to describe your speed record of Denali.
Release, because
Release.
I felt released after two years of training.
Awesome. Yes, thank you. I hope you answered all the questions and I had a wonderful time with you. Hopefully to see you on the mountains. I'm just waiting for it and can't wait much long to make it happen. And thanks a lot, Carl. Thanks a lot.
No, it was really a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for the opportunity. A lot of greetings to the other side of the world, and we will meet definitely one day on the mountains to climb together. I wish all of the audience a wonderful day, and thanks for hearing us.
Yes, thank you. Thanks a lot. Take care and bye bye.
Bye bye.